My book talk, I did 12 Years a Slave by Solomon Northup. It was a memoir of his time as being a slave. So he grew up in New York. He was a free man. Lived there, had a wife named Anne, 3 kids, Alonzo, Margaret, I can't remember the other one's name. Lived a good life throughout the seasons, did various jobs, make money. Wasn't poor, wasn't rich, just slow and happy life. And then some people came along and asked him if he wanted to help them out with with their circus, because he's really good at playing fiddle. So he went, started trusting them more, and then next thing he knows, he ended up in a cage with other African Americans, and he tried to tell them that he was a free man, but they just beat him and told him not to say that because it was illegal to kidnap and slave trade free people. So he was taken down to New Orleans and sold off to slave. First guy, he went to 3 different owners. He had Ford, Tibbetts, and Epps, and they got worse and worse as time went on. Ford was nice. He didn't abuse them, didn't make them work long hours. He read them scripture daily and was pretty nice to him, honestly. He said a lot of the slaves there were willing to work and respected him. Solomon worked the garden a lot. And then about a year later, Ford went into financial trouble. So a man named Tibbetts bought Solomon. He's a lot worse. He did not like Solomon. Even though Solomon worked hard, he still was mean to him, beat him, and at one point even tried to kill him. So after about a year with him, Ford convinced Tibbetts to sell Solomon to a man named Epps. And Epps was the worst of the 3. He would get drunk and come into the bunkhouse of the slaves and beat them. He always had something to say to the slaves, and when he'd get drunk, he would do some bad stuff with one of the slaves named Patsy. And Epps' wife didn't like that and became jealous, so she would be pretty mean to Patsy too. But it kind of just goes through. Solomon worked for Epps for 10 years, and through the whole time he was trying to find some way to get out that he needed to be free, get his word back to Anne, his wife, and people up in New York. Finally, there was a man, I can't remember his name, who was able to help him by getting a letter out and up. So after a couple months, a man came down saying that Solomon was a free man and had the papers to prove it. So after the 12 years of being a slave and doing whatever he can to get out, he was able to go back to being free again, get his free papers, show the proof, and then he went back to his family. And his son Alonzo, who was a grown man at this point, had apparently been working out west to try to buy his father back out of slavery to be free. And it's a true story. There's a movie based off of it too, and it's written by Solomon Northup.